Like I closed my eyes and then I just remember feeling myself going. And then I remember thinking, uh-oh, I had fallen off of the bike and I was ran over by another bike. I was seeing loved ones, dead and alive. I remember getting really close to a light and then being brought back. By who, by what, I did not know. Life is not designed for you to be safe all the time. Oh my god, I'm getting... Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Rhonda and this is Talks with Rhonda. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to tell you about the time when I got into an almost deadly accident. This was 2024. Yeah, 2024 was a challenging year for me, and it started with challenges for me. I got into a fight with my sister, and it wasn't even that big of a fight, but it brought about very big feelings. I don't know how, but it led me to this idea of like, you know what, we are sisters, but we don't have to be friends. Mind you, I've always been close with my sister and I've always loved that connection I have with her. So I was just like, you know what, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing. I'll live my life the way I intend to live my life, and she can do whatever she wants, and I'll show everybody, and I'll show her, and I'll show myself that I can do my own things and I don't need her I guess guidance. So fast forward to, you know, New Year's, it happens, we celebrate, everything goes well. January 2nd, I'm like, school is resuming on January 4th, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do all my errands that I need to do before going back to school in one day. Big red flag already. What I had to do in that day was I had to go to the market, then I had to go and get my meningitis vaccine. I think to travel across Togo you need that. Yeah, I was going to go to like the pharmacy to pick up like my skincare stuff and all of that. So I wake up in the morning like normal, and you know, I get my shopping bag and then I'm like off. And in Benin, if you guys are not new to my channel, you know that the most common like transportation thing is bikes. So it's quite a long bike ride, I guess, but then I've done that so many times, multiple times, so it was nothing new. So I start by going to the public hospital or public clinic. So they do it, they inject me with the thing. So then I asked the nurse that pricked me, I asked her, is there any like side effects or something like that that I should expect? And she was like, no, there's no side effects at all. Should I stay seated for a bit before I leave? And she was like, yeah, if you want to, you can do that. So I sit down for a little bit, and then I get up and I go. And I had already started feeling a bit, you know, fatigued in a way. And it did not feel alarming to me because I was like, okay, it's the morning time, I just got a vaccine and I haven't eaten anything. So probably it's because I did not eat. So when I get to the market, I'll get something to eat and I'll be fine. I get to the market, and that's when in my memory, everything is getting very blurry. So I get to the market, and first I'm looking for like presentation, like clothes and things like that. Then I get food. The getting food part, actually I did not know that I got food till I checked my phone, and in my phone I took a video of the food I got. So I got the food and I remembered feeling very woozy and everything, and feeling like, okay, I should probably go home now. So by then I had like a big bag full of like stuff, right, like from the pharmacy and from the market. It was quite heavy. Then I got a bike. I sit on the bike. So the rider was here, the bag was here, and I was here. And the bag was kind of like big, like it was heavy. Guys, I don't know what happened. I was like, I'm sleepy. I think I need to sleep. I think I'm very sleepy. And I remember going like I closed my eyes, and then I just remember feeling myself going. And then I remember thinking, uh-oh, I fall off the bike, obviously. Yeah, I remember everything that happened after that as a dream. I remember feeling scared because I opened my eyes and I could see traffic, and I could see a motorbike coming directly at me. And I could hear people saying, is this her first time taking a bike? What happened to her? Things like that. Then I remember seeing my mom. My mom passed away about 3 years ago. She was literally light, but then I could see her face, but then it was like she was wearing a robe of light. She looked very concerned, and I remember feeling her scoop me up like this. I was overwhelmed with a feeling of, I've missed you so much, like I'm so happy to be in your arms. Then the next thing I remember is kind of like my grandma, like my mom's mother, also there at one point. She was in that space. And then I remember numbers in my mind, and when I woke up I was told that I was asked my dad's number, and I was actually able to give my dad's phone number. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because in my dream what I remembered were like numbers, like different numbers, and I was trying to like put them together or make sense of them. So this really kind man owned a store. So my accident happened right in front of his store, and this angel, this God sent man, took me in his car and brought me to the hospital. So that's how I made it to the hospital. And when he was asked what happened to her, he said from the accounts of the people around, because he did not actually see it happen, he just came and found me there with the other people. He said from the accounts of the people who were there, I had fallen off of the bike and I was ran over by another bike. In the dream world that I was sent to, I was on a path, and on that path I would cross different people that I know and that I love, and I would stop and kind of like speak to them and ask them how they are and feel them. So I'll try and take a picture of the path and put it somewhere, maybe here, so that you guys can like maybe see what I'm trying to say. And my mom was with me all along that path. I was on that path for a while, and I was like, wow, this is a very long dream. I remember consciously or consciously thinking, this is a long ass dream. Like, this dream started with me falling off of a motorbike and whatever. So I was like, when is this dream going to stop? I remembered a part of me knowing that something bad had happened, you know? It was really emotional. There was no logic to it. I don't know how to like put it into words really, but all I can tell you is that I was seeing lights, I was seeing loved ones, dead and alive, I was seeing paths, and I was seeing glimpses of things that were also happening in reality. Fast forward to me, I woke up on the 3rd of December, because that's when I woke up from the dream that I was in, and I was like, what's going on? And then I opened my eyes and I could see like that I was in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed, and I felt pain like on the side of my head. I felt pain on my arms, on my back. I felt pain in a lot of different places. Then my sister is like, Rhonda, you don't remember what happened? We spoke about this, you got into an accident. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, but it's nothing bad, right? And she was like, no, it's nothing bad. Then I saw my dad and I held his hand. I saw my brother too, and I was happy to see him there as well. My uncle would come in and out. I was really happy to be with them, as if I had went too far. The feeling was like I had strayed off, you know, like I felt like a child who walked away from home and went too far and is really happy to be back home, basically. So they were like, don't you remember anything from yesterday and everything? I was like, I don't remember, like, isn't it today? What, like, I don't get it. And they were like, you were awake all throughout yesterday, and we had conversations and we spoke, and you kept asking about mom, and they told me what I said, and apparently I literally spoke to and about everybody. And I was like, okay, it makes sense, because I was seeing all of these people on my path. The things that I was saying to them or feeling about them on my path were things that I was actually verbally saying to them. I would say some things in English, then I would say some things in French, and I would say some things in Mina, which I thought was so crazy. All my cognitive, I guess, abilities were not there. I was kind of like going from one language to another. We did an MRI, I think that's how it's called, yes, an MRI scan, and then they were like, you were being really funny with the MRI thing. You're like, what are they trying to find in my head? Because I don't have anything in my head either way. It's crazy how even when unconscious, I use humor to ease myself, and apparently everybody cried and I cried. Like, I can't remember any of this. Like, I remember getting really close to a light and then being brought back. By who, by what, I did not know. I've heard about near-death experiences. I've watched a lot of like documentaries about it and everything. Experiencing it is something completely different. and it really humbles you as a person. Before my accident, I was always like, okay, I'm more of a spiritual person. I do not want to get into any religious, thing. But after that experience of mine, something switched in me where I was like, there's so much you don't know. You don't know anything. This life is not earned. There's nothing I could have done to deserve life. You know, I was not supposed to be here. And the only reason as to why I am here is simply and purely by the grace of God. And I am so lucky that God has seen something in me. Oh my God, I am so lucky that God has seen something in me that he feels is worth me being here. That God has seen that I have something to accomplish here, and it's not time for me to go yet. When I was in my mother's arms at that point, I was in perfect peace. Nothing mattered anymore. The crippling anxiety that I deal with on a daily basis, it was all gone. I felt so at peace. I felt like I was where I was supposed to be, but yet I felt like I had to go back. I felt like there was something incomplete in my life that I have to go back and accomplish. I learned from that experience every single day. It's been over a year now, but every time I reflect on that experience, I learn something new about it. When people say life is fleeting, I don't think we really understand it, how much of a gift life actually is. I think ever since that day, I accepted that I only live through the grace of God. I don't have the power to keep myself alive. Like, I don't have the power to wake myself up every day. I am undeserving. I am so undeserving, yet I am here. So I want to make it meaningful, me being here. The painful thing, waking up, aside from the physical pain, was being away from my mother's embrace that at that point I had already been missing for 2 years, and having that back just for that time period that I had it back, it felt amazing. After the accident, I had to deal with a lot of things that are linked to the flesh. Now I understand that there are levels to it, to who you are as a human being. That time that I spent away from myself or on that path was me being, like, at that point I was in my spiritual nature. I don't think I'm using the right vocabulary for that, but like I told you, the anxiety, the doubts, all of it was gone. But as soon as I came back, it came back with it. And I started taking on new doubts. I was like, can I trust myself? Because clearly the worst happened on the one day that I decided to do everything on my own. So can I trust myself? Half of my face was literally disfigured. I think it was this side. I still have like a little bit of a scar here, but nobody notices it, but I do because it's my face. Nobody really knew what happened to me because none of my family members were there. And from the scars that I have, let me try and show you. I spent a lot of time hiding this scars, so I'm proud to be able to show you. So I have a little bit of a scar here. I don't know, can you see it? Like, it's dark over here. Yeah, and then here, and then on my knees, on my toes, on my back. I have a little bit of a scar on my back as well, because the scarring was on like different parts of my body, on like different sides of my body. I am able to tell that I probably tumbled. I would look at myself after that. I was really like traumatized, and I immediately got into the victim mentality thing of like, why me? What have I done to deserve this? Like, it took a long time for me to be able to get to that point where like I could see the grace of God in my life. And I did not see it as, you're such a resilient person because you made it. I saw it as, why would you put yourself in a situation like that? Getting to my vice president role, I'm like, I can trust myself. Why would any of these people trust me? But by the grace of God, I'm on my learning path, and I've grown since last year around this time, and I'm so grateful for that growth. I'm so grateful for that growth. From this, I've also learned that life is not made for you to make the right decisions all the time. Life is not designed for you to be safe all the time. You know, you need to go through some of these situations for you to grow into the person that God has meant for you to be. God has amazing ways to show himself to people he loves. That's all I can say. I'm here. And I went through 2024 and I did way more than I thought I could have done in that year. And I made the best out of the year. And I'm proud of myself. There it is. There is my experience. Stay safe out there and walk in the spirit. Keep God close to you in any way or form that you feel comfortable with. Keep God close to you and know that he's got your back. And that's a wrap on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up for the algorithm and for me, because it will make me happy. It lets me know that you guys took something away from this video. I hope it was insightful. I love you guys very, very much. Keep feeling and flowing, and as always, I'll see you next time on Talks with Rhonda. Bye.